Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the Utah Jazz versus the Phoenix Suns for the in-season tourney game. The reason why we bring this up and give it merit is because both teams played valiantly, but this meant more for the Utah Jazz because this shows the direction that they're trying to go, and it proved that this offensive system that they're running is sustainable and can put up very high offensive numbers. Defensively, things were a little bit shaky, obviously, but across the board, the offense was just that much better than the defense, not so much that the defense was just completely egregious. There was too much firepower in this game shown by Kevin Durant and Jordan Clarkson and Larry Markkinen, along with the overall stout play of John Collins, for somebody to sit there and look at it and just say, oh, these teams played no defense. With that being said, losing 128 to 131 against this Phoenix Suns team, despite their lack of having Bradley Beal, shows a great deal of heart and a great deal of growth from this Utah Jazz team just 12 games into the season. Now, how great was it if they lost? Some people might ask. Well, they hit their second most free throws in the 12-game sample size that we have to date. They also hit the third most three-pointers in a game and had the third highest three-point percentage in a game. They also had their third highest field goal percentage across the entirety of the season, and they hit the fourth most field goals. Offensively, this was a very stout performance, and it was spearheaded by their lowest number of turnovers in a game, as they had the single-digit number of 8. For reference, they haven't had less than 12 turnovers in any game so far this season and averaged 17.5 at one point. Now, previously, Utah Jazz fans were saying, I wish we could play the Memphis Grizzlies every night, because if we play like that every night, we would win a lot more games. Well, it's almost as if they heard you, because they decided to play against the Phoenix Suns as though they were the Memphis Grizzlies on offense. They were stellar, hitting 50.6% of your shots and 44% of your three-pointers is going to make you a very good team. Going 26 for 31 from the free throw line for 83.9% is also going to do wonders for you. Combine that with them having 27 assists to only 8 turnovers, and things look that much better. Admittedly, they had essentially a season low in steals with only 3, but they had the second highest number of blocks totaled up in a game this season with 10. Only their second time with double digits, with the other game, of course, coming against the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, for reference, when I said the numbers about the field goal makes, three-point makes, and three-point percentage, the 2 games this season that they were both above this game against Phoenix were, of course, against the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, getting into the true nitty-gritty of things. If you look at the numbers, obviously their starters were Larry Markkinen, Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, Keontae George, and Ochai Agbaji. Agbaji brought that perimeter defense that they so desperately needed. And it might not show because the score was just so high, but he was there every single time. And credit to the Utah Jazz, because as soon as Phoenix took Durant out of the game, they took advantage of it to keep themselves in the game. Now, Larry finished the game with 21 points, despite being played very physically by Kevin Durant and the other defenders on the Suns, and he ended up going 5 of 12 from the field and 1 of 4 from the three-point line, which I don't believe will be a consistent thing for him when teams play him more physically. He also went 10 of 12 from the free throw line and only had 1 personal foul. This was across a team-high 40 minutes of action. Now, Jordan Clarkson was probably the most impressive player, not just for his offensive upside, but for the fact that he did seem totaled in on defense. He seemed like he bought in for almost the entirety of the game and time that he was out there, which was the second highest on the team with 36 minutes. Now, he had a team-high 37 points to go along with 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and get this, no turnovers. Congratulations, Jordan Clarkson. I'm almost on the believing train. If he can manage to do this again when they play Phoenix on Sunday night, then things will really start to heat up. Now, he did end up having 1 steal. He went 14 for 26 from the field, which effectively means he more than doubled the number of shot attempts that Larry Markkinen made, but he also shot over 50% of them, so credit to him. Got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He also came up clutch at the end of things, because in the fourth quarter, he was lights out stunning. He was on the game 5 of 10 from beyond the arc, which honestly seemed like it would have been a flip-flop number where you'd much rather Larry Markkinen be expected to have those 10 three-point attempts. But to his credit, he hit 50% of them, so go Jordan Clarkson. He also was 4 for 4 from the free throw line, and like I said, he had no turnovers, which to this point in the season is unheard of for him because he hasn't quite simply done it. John Collins was his usual Swiss Army knife self, going for 15 points, 14 rebounds, and an assist to go along with 2 blocks, shooting 5 of 10 from the field, going 1 of 2 from the three-point line, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, and having fouled out. Now, the fouling out portion is the abysmal part of it, but overall, John Collins was doing all the dirty work. He was on the glass every time, he was getting his own miss, he was boarding everybody else's miss, and him taking a slightly higher number of field goal attempts shows that he was committed on the offensive side of the ball. Now, Keontae George was the shining star of this one underneath Jordan Clarkson because he had an offensive output that was something that I think he can very easily replicate, if that makes sense. Now, he went for 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists to go along with 1 steal, but he did have 3 turnovers. This was matched by Taylor Horton Tucker off the bench, who also had 3 turnovers, but in 10 less minutes and 2 less assists. Now, Keontae shot 5 of 11 from the field and 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, which is something that he really needed to boost his confidence, and I think despite being in a loss, he really had a stellar showing. He also went 2 of 3 from the free throw line. And last but not least out of the starters was Ochai Agbaji, who went for 8 points, 5 rebounds, and had 3 blocks. Now, he was 3 of 4 from the field and went 2 of 2 from the three-point line. So he didn't shoot a lot of shots, but defensively, he was there and on it. Whether it have been Kevin Durant, whether it have been Devin Booker, whoever he was matched up on, he was getting there and staying on them with few and far in between mistakes. Now, of course, things happen, and great stars in the league are always going to shine when things get tough, and they're going to make tough buckets. Credit to Kevin Durant for having the immaculate performance that he put on, but Ochai deserves praise for what he was capable of doing. Going to the bench, you had Colin Sexton with 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, Kelly Olynyk with 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists, THT with 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists, Fontecchio with 8 points and 1 rebound. Chris Dunn played in 9 seconds in the first half and went almost unused, but that video is going to be for another day. Now, Colin Sexton also had 2 blocks, and THT also had a block off the bench. Colin Sexton went 3 of 8 from the field, missing both of his 3-pointers, but hitting both free throws and having no turnovers. Kelly Olynyk was 3 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 from the 3-point line, and had only 1 turnover for those 7 assists that he had, leading the team, by the way. THT went 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 4 from the 3-point line, but 4 of 4 from the free throw line and had 3 turnovers. So his splits from assists to turnovers still aren't stellar, but now that he's playing in less minutes and coming off the bench, things are more manageable thanks to the one and only Keontae George. Fontecchio wasn't the best on defense, but offensively he gave what was supposed to be given in the 15 minutes that he played, scoring those 8 points, shooting 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 4 from the 3-point line, and only had 1 turnover and 2 personal fouls. Now, to give credit where credit is due on the Suns side of things, I do know we have a couple fans on the channel. Drew Eubanks was their shining star off the bench, most importantly as he had 11 points and 4 rebounds, going 5 of 5 from the field and 1 of 1 from the 3-point line with no turnovers. Looking at the starting lineup, you had Kevin Durant with 38, Eric Gordon with 14, Devin Booker with 24, Grayson Allen with 10, and Jusuf Nurkic with 15. Kevin Durant had 38, 9, and 9, a borderline triple-double, no steals, no blocks, and only 1 turnover. Now, he did end up going 15 for 22 from the field and 6 of 8 from beyond the arc to go along with 2 made free throws. The interesting thing about Kevin Durant being on the court, though, in his 33 minutes, his box score plus minus was actually -8. The person with the positive box plus minus happened to be the one and only star of this team, Devin Booker, who only had 24 points, but he also had 4 rebounds and 15 assists to only 1 turnover, which is borderline insane. Honestly, when you hear those numbers, you think of Tyrese Halliburton or Chris Paul. Chris Paul obviously aged out of that time period a little bit, but Tyrese Halliburton is starting to get into that realm and do it on a consistent basis. Now, Devin Booker was also efficient from the field, going 7 of 15 from the field, 2 of 3 from the 3-point line, and went 8 of 10 from the free throw line. Eric Gordon had 14 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block, and brought a little bit of a defensive edge that was needed for the starters. Grayson Allen also played well with his 10 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist, going 3 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from the 3-point line, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Going back to Eric Gordon, he was 5 of 12 from the field and 4 of 8 from the 3-point line. Jusuf Nurkic had 15.7 rebounds and 4 assists to go along with 1 steal, shooting 4 of 7 from the field, 0 of 1 from the 3-point line, and 7 of 7 from the free throw line, though he did lead the team with 4 turnovers. Overall, a solid effort from both sides, but more importantly for the Utah Jazz, who really needed this quality game. This shows a turning point for the team because they, more importantly, have been one that only beat up on lesser teams in the league, being the Memphis Grizzlies and the Portland Trail Blazers. This quality game shows that this starting lineup could potentially win them games later on down the line. When Walker Kessler gets added back to the mix, things will get a little bit more interesting, but for now, Lauri Markkanen, Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, Keontae George, and Ochai Agbaji seem to be the starting lineup that they're comfortable running, and it seems to be the most effective one for them long term. With that being said, thanks for tuning in this video. It's your boy Wraith Hoops. As always, make sure to like the video, comment your thoughts below. Let me know if you think that this is the new look Utah Jazz. Let me know if you're a Suns fan, how you felt about this game, and if you think that you will get even better when Bradley Beal returns. Go ahead and subscribe and turn on post notifications. And if you're not already, go ahead and become a member so you can get the videos a little bit earlier than everybody else. With that being said, thanks for tuning in this video. As always, good morning, good evening, good night, no matter where you are on the globe watching. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.